Legend here, and today we're doing another Rate Your Doomstack video, this time covering a Village the Curseling Spawn of Tzeentch Doomstack. So we've got 17 Spawn of Tzeentch. This is supposed to be an early game Doomstack. It's only turned 30-ish, and we're going up against like 3 full stacks of Cathay here, including a Legendary Lord, Miao Ying. So I've never really been that fond of Spawn of Tzeentch, oh sorry, just Spawn in general. But I guess having the barrier and magical attacks does really come in handy in Warhammer 3. So we'll just see how it goes. I was not given any instructions on how to use it. He just said, this is pretty effective, so we'll just see how it goes. So we'll jump in here and we'll just see. Now, if you're a bit of a Tzeentch enjoyer and you enjoy a bit of change, then this video here is sponsored by Instant Gaming. Now there is going to be a Black Friday sale between the 25th and 28th of November of this month. So Instant Gaming already has really great prices, and during that time there, if you're looking for something especially cheap, then get yourself a great deal. Now, over the last few days, I've been playing Valheim, which I purchased from Instant Gaming. I got 10% off from it, which, you know, it's alright. 10% off for a game that didn't come up that long ago. It's also not that expensive in the first place, but I've been playing this a fair bit in my spare time now, which I have a lot more spare time now that I'm not live streaming, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So this is just one recommendation that I have for you guys. Check out Instant Gaming, and a big thanks to Instant Gaming for partnering up with the channel and supporting me for so long. Like I said many times before, I've used Instant Gaming loads of times, and I've never had any issues, and you just find great deals. All I want is for you guys to find great deals. That's it. If you find great deals elsewhere, sure, purchase elsewhere as well. But Instant Gaming does have great deals. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Let's have a look. How are we going to do this? Should we just rush at them? Kind of feel like we need to. That Grand Cannon's going to shoot at us. I'm going to need this guy to sort that out. Because like, we're up against a lot here. This isn't the kind of army that I think is completely brainless. I mean, apart from the units being completely brainless. We might be able to tank 1 or 2 shots with the barrier. Also, would be good to get that high ground there. So yeah, we're just gonna straight up just go for the Grand Cannons there and try to claim this high ground. So he's got a Doom Knight in here, which that might have just been because he started. Oh god. Start off with it. And didn't want to get rid of it. So when playing as Village, it's very easy to get loads of Spawn of Tzeentch, since one of his changing of the way allows you to just put Spawn of Tzeentch into any army in the game. Which is pretty interesting. Pretty funny, they just let that happen. I don't think that's going to do much. Alright, so what kind of barrier are we looking at here? 1,250. Village is only rank 18, so it's not super high level. One of my guys is still stuck on the ground, I think. Try to lure them to the Spawn of Tzeentch. So yeah, the thing is with Chaos Spawn is that they don't really have any speciality. They're just considered damage dealers, that's all. Come on, come on. Yeah, one of them died. And then yeah, we'll just see how this does. We already know that Village can be an amazing one-man Doomstack. It doesn't have much spell casting there. Metal Wizard, I don't think the Metal Wizard is going to do much with the Searing Doom. If we get into a bit of a blob, that could be useful. Alright. Alright, no Chaos Spawn have been killed. So I guess the Doom Knights of Tzeentch are good for taking out things like artillery, because of the Vanguard deploy. Thing is, with this kind of army here, I really don't know how much it can handle and how much I should just allow the AI to get set up. I really have no idea. Because yeah, this would not have been my first instincts to build this. Alright, Miao Ying is definitely here somewhere. Now, it could actually be an interesting thing to fight in the forest when there's loads of missile units, because even though we'll lose 20% of our melee attack, they'll probably lose way more than 20% of their ammunition when you fight in the forest. Just something to keep in mind. A lot of people are really averse to fighting in terrain that is detrimental to their units in terms of stats, but might actually be useful. Just keep that kind of stuff in mind, especially when dealing with a lot of missile units. Missiles are way heavier affected by terrain than melee units. Alright, that lord should die eventually. So Miao Ying probably coming up through here. Okay, hang on. Back up over here. I think we'll run down the hill this way. I know we'll be fighting into trees, but that's okay. Really don't know how much we should spread out. Typically speaking, if you're massively outnumbered, going wide is oftentimes a bad call. Oh man, come on. Because you're not going to outflank an army when you're outnumbered. It's just not going to happen. And even if you do, it's not going to be that effective. So sometimes blobs are really bloody handy, because what you're doing there is you're spreading out the barrier damage amongst a whole bunch of different units. Like there could be 3, 4, 5 different units fighting here where they're getting damaged, and it's spreading out the barrier, allowing some of them a chance to heal their barrier. I know it seems weird, but it can work really well. Okay, we've got to get rid of all these archers down over here, so I need that wizard to come back. But we're almost taking this out here, just need one more hit. So Miao Ying will be coming in. Also, another reason for fighting like a blob like this is because if you don't do this, they fight in kind of loose formation, whereas this makes them tight formation, meaning that fewer units can actually get at your individual monsters. Come on, man. Tell me that was the end of it. Okay, there we go. I need you over here. So at the moment, not taking too much damage. They've also got 15% missile resistance in case one here is a bit damaged. Move it to the back if possible. Although Chaos Spawn do have a tendency of getting pretty stuck. Alright, we do have Village here with Pink 5 Zinch, but I think we'd be better off using hey, let's see if we can get a retention. Oh yeah, we got a retention, but the right unit there. Try and get out of it. I was gonna lure her away, but she already landed. Come on, get over here, boy. So far, they're doing pretty well. You can tolerate that friggin' noise. Plenty of magic. I'm just gonna do this. See how much damage we get with Village. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Another reason for blowing up is if you've got a lot of wizards in the army, that can be really bloody useful. And these guys here shouldn't have as much barrier as Chaos Spawn. They've got way more. Okay, now we pop this down over here. As long as they're firing, they shouldn't ammo dodge. I'm pretty sure this is on very hard battle difficulty. Yeah.
Slaves to darkness. Good night. We are the castling. Spread corruption. Very well.
Yeah, if they're firing, they won't dodge it. So that's good. You guys are getting shot from the back.
Sorcerer of Sinch.
Well, Miao Ying isn't really doing very much damage to them, so I gotta give him credit for actually just being good fighters. Like, Miao Ying is not exactly low level there. It's just at mid-level. We've only lost a handful of them. Just like 4 or 5. Okay, this one here's taking a fair bit of damage, so it's right up front. A lot of damage, but not too many no casualties in that, actually. Good, he's getting kills. Okay, now we're starting to spread out a little bit more as we've pushed them back. Now is probably an okay time to not necessarily be in a blob, since the enemy's not really outnumbering us anymore. We've kind of got him on the run. Shooting at this guy. Also, when using Searing Doom, you might want to avoid shooting into the forest because trees can block the shots. So let's take a lot of damage, move it to the back. Miao Ying's going down, that's good. Okay, this one here, and this one here. Too much damage. Let's move them back so they don't get wiped out. So yeah, firing over here is fine. No trees in the way there. So ones here really need to get pulled out.
Army of the Dark Gods. So
Okay, Miao Ying might try to run away soon, so it would be good if somebody could run after her to stop her from flying back up. Come on, just need like one more good hit on her. There we go, good stuff.
we agree.
Mostly ignoring village. Okay, another one here that's pretty badly damaged. Yeah, this is the problem with Chaos Boards. See, I've been trying to get these ones out of here, but they just get stuck. Just don't really need that.
Chaos is magic. Village the castling.
Let's move them back. Yep. Bouncer Power's looking good, but not all their reinforcements have come in yet. There's not that much remaining though.
Lights of Finch. Coming once them.
It's pretty easy to use this as well. Just throw them at the enemy. Haven't had to do any particularly tricky maneuvers. Damage is not that bad at all. Don't use this on Jade Warrior Crossbowman because it doesn't do any armor piercing. Okay, looks like we're at a point now we can start pushing at their archers. Okay, this one's here taking too much damage. Get the focus fire moving back.
It brings destruction. Darkness. Cool.
See if we can get out of there without any additional ones getting killed.
Bringing ruin. Village the castling.
Cool, and just get them out of there. Okay, the blob is no longer a blob. It's just find any enemies you can now and hunt them down. Because bounce power's in our favor. Just need to win the battle.
Destroy.
Okay, bring these guys back here now because their barrier came back, you know, a little bit. A little bit concerned over here, taking quite a bit of damage. I need more reinforcements to come over here and pin down these archers. What are you doing? Get over here.
Moving out.
And missile resistance is definitely coming in handy here.
Annihilate. Servant of change.
Come on, push them off the battlefield here.
Slaves to darkness.
It's going okay there.
We go in fury.
That's not great there. Okay, we need more reinforcements over here. This is getting a bit dicey. Forget about all this crap over here. Although I'm pretty sure I was going to say the army losses should be any moment. Well, you know, the Order Resolve gave a close defeat. And this is a very easy army to build. They performed pretty damn well. You know, this is the enemies that you're going to be going up against in the early game as well. You're going to be going up against Cathay, so this is an appropriate test. This isn't a late game Doomstack test, it's for the early game, and it worked. Didn't take that much damage, and every single one of them, apart from this one here, but that might have been the one that was fighting against Miao Ying, all delivered good amounts of kills. And they're not even really that experienced, some of them. And if ever any of them do get killed, you can just replace them really easily. Cool, that did well. Yep. Routed most of them, I think. Only killed about half of them. That's going to happen in the sort of early stages of the game. And then replenishment rate, that is really good there. Ah, so we were the attacker. Cool. And it just got a little bit stronger with the extra 3 melee defense. Although what it really needs is more actual resistances. Because in melee, they seem to be doing okay. But they could really use more missile resistance. I don't know how you'd go about that. So you've got the missile resistance from... Yeah, from Shatter... That's where... What's it called? The Shatterstone one. That's where he's getting the missile resistance. Yeah. That's probably one of the best ones to get in the early game, and every single one of the Warriors of Chaos can get it. Okay, so rating this. In terms of practicality, this is really practical to get, because you're going to find a lot of spawn of Zinch around the place because of high Zinch corruption. If I can actually find some. Maybe he's already stripped these areas of all of them. The other thing that you can do is using a changing of the way. I think it's Spawnify. Adds up to 3 Chaos Spawn to any army. And it says Chaos Spawn, but it means Zinch. Chaos Spawn of Zinch. So every 15 turns you can just add some extra in there at the cost of a few souls. But if... Oh yeah, the manifest... Hang on, I'm just thinking... Yeah. I was just thinking about Unholy Manifestations, but we don't have them playing as Warriors of Chaos. Just thinking about that. And then, of course, you could always just stumble across them. So yeah, it's a very replaceable army. And the upkeep cost is not that bad. 100 upkeep cost for that is dirt cheap. So if we have a look, what is causing that to be so damn cheap? Or are they just not naturally that cheap? I'm not sure. I haven't really played that much of Village. But yeah. So in terms of practicality, really practical because That was very effective for turn 32. Really, really effective. In terms of strength, very strong, and it was super easy to use. So in terms of an early game Doomstack, this basically gets top marks. Yeah, really, I'd probably want to replace it later on in the campaign. Imagine when you're going up against a lot of single entities and higher tier units, especially stuff that has anti-large, this might struggle a little bit, especially considering it's not that much armor piercing. So when you're going up against more armored units, and there were some Jade Warriors in there as well, so that's fairly armored, that might be a time to replace them. But I imagine that this would be fairly useful right up until about, I don't know, turn 60, turn 70, and around that point there you might start to struggle against new enemies that have decent armies coming through, especially against greenskins. I imagine greenskins would give this a hard time in the sort of mid to late game. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this one. Hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out Instant Gaming between the 25th and 28th of November to get a good deal on other games that you may want to purchase, or there's other Total War games and DLC if you haven't already purchased them. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.